National Football League on EA Sports. Straight ahead, it's Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a great one in store between the Miami Dolphins and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC Wild Card game. No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. First carry now for Kareem Hunt. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Tua sets up to pass it. And that's incomplete.
I don't see more of them trying to get him the football over the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Some trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Tua. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we say it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Tua to throw again. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Offense is moving it a little bit, having back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Tua going to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the Steelers are in great shape here as they take over at the 46-yard line. And certainly, look, you're on the road in the playoffs. That is a suboptimal start, opening drive INT.
And, partner, sometimes I wonder, do these teams talk about it to such an extent that maybe you almost talk yourself into the turnover when you're trying to avoid it?
Yeah, maybe they get a little too worried about keeping the football, and then you give it to the other team right off the bat. And look, we said it, on the road, this is just a terrible, terrible start for them.
It is, and now they've got to rely on their defense.
And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll run again with Harris. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well. You can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. Looking to throw, Pickett. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Calling a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Remember last time out they threw the interception on their first drive. Good news, their defense backed them up, so it's still 0-0 here as they begin their second possession. Yeah, and one great way to judge a defense, how do they handle what we call sudden change? When all of a sudden, you know, it goes against their offense and they have to run out in the field and try and put out the fire. Give this one great kudos for getting out there and not letting that interception lead to points. Excellent job by them defensively. On first down, they go right back to Hunt. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's a handoff to Hunt running left. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4. Well, let's be honest about the whole thing. When you're looking for a reliable set of hands on 3rd down, the first thought is often not fullback. But that's who they turn to there. And he does a nice job of securing the football and picking up the first down. On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator. Tua's throws taken in by Waddle. On the move past the 40. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards. This is what made the West Coast offense a staple around the NFL in the 80s and 90s. You don't have to push the ball deep downfield to come up with big plays, and there's an example of that right there. On first down, Tagovailoa. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Ahkello Witherspoon. And the Steelers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, your first drive of the first quarter, you get it down there, try to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play. No doubt about it. They're moving and grooving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Back to throw. Pickett. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. In motion goes the tight end. Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. And he's got his target, Harris. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Najee Harris, 82 yards. And the Steelers will strike first here in this wild card matchup. Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Holmes returning from his end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the play did on the last one. Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they'll go.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Excellent defensive effort to get to him and provide a little contact before the catch could be made cleanly.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Looking to pass. Tua. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So on 4th down, here's the Australian native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. That'll go as a 42-yard punt. They'll be aided by a loss of yardage on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Pickett, he'll look to throw it. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Emmanuel Ogbah, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. Pickett and the Steelers in need of a big play here. 3rd and long after the sack. They'll set up to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7-0 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy? I know it was a game, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
To throw again on 2nd down. Tua. And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Found good room to run there. Returns it 14 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Pickett back to throw. Again, it's Johnson. He's got the first down and more. Down the right sideline. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Deontay Johnson, 71 yards. And the Steelers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point put through by Boswell. And it's now 14-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Holmes returning from his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. At the line ready for their next drive. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. And going deep for Hill. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Flushed out right. To a hit, and the ball is out. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for the Steelers score. Extra point now by Boswell. And it is now 21-0. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this, you'd hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points when you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that, because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now. Start your comeback, but you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this spot.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. The slot man in motion right. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for the Steelers score. Boswell for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Holmes returning from his end zone. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, it's Thompson. Swings this out for Hunt. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
And able to find Gesicki as tight end. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Past the 30 down to about the 27. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Thompson now on the bootleg. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Cedric Wilson, 27 yards. And the Dolphins get a bit closer. Jason Sanders now for the extra point. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. And it's caught inside the 5.
Okay, they went for the fake off of the extra point attempt. It's a long way to go, and they didn't get there. Didn't get it completed successfully. Did someone dare them to do that? Did someone double dog dare them
I was
to do
going to
that?
ask you, maybe they saw something on film, but do you see something on film to try something from the 15 on the PAT? I don't know.
The only thing they needed to see on film there was a snap, a hold, and someone kicking the ball through the post.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. The first play of the drive there is incomplete. Big O.J. Howard, his intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
On 2nd and 10, Pickett. And that is incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Pickett will look to throw it here. And that is incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
On is Presley Harvin now as he'll send this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Watch out for Hill on the return. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And they will take over 1st and 10. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
You know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate it wasn't picked off.
Here now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Back to the air on 2nd down, Thompson. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
3rd and long, Thompson. Ball had his his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's...
And how about this, a fake? And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. To the air on first down with Pickett. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown. Chase Claypool as the first half is winding down. And the Steelers continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and the rout is on here in this first half. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Holmes returning from his end zone. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much.
And that's caught inside the 30. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit. And this one a 41-yard attempt. The kick by Sanders is good. And they knock that deficit down from 29 to 26. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs. And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work the run in a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
To the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Pickett now on first down. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. But pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the third quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, a 22. Well, still in the third quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and they'll be left with second and a couple. Thompson going to throw it. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
They certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Thompson now, third down. Touchdown, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill from 13 yards out. And the Dolphins are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Well, look, this is a team, Charles, they faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division, but they're putting it all together here in the wild card game.
It feels like a statement, doesn't it? An absolute statement game, a message to the top seeds. Overlook us at your own peril. We're pretty darn good.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And that'll make this a 19-point game.
Makes the score. Steelers 35, Dolphins 16.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone.
The Steelers take over first and 10.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin first and 10. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They run again with Harris. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On second down, this is Harris. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. That's a burst right there.
Now a first down carry for Harris. No gain on the play there, second down. It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about tiny? You're talking about the little guy back
Tiny.
there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down.
And they visited the end zone frequently in this one, and obviously they wanted another one. But give credit to the defense there. They may not make the comeback, but pride showed. Good sack on that play.
Pickett and the Steelers in need of a big play here. Third and long after the sack. Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. Completion here to Claypool. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 35. Harris running straight ahead. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. On 1st and 10, it's Pickett. Open man is Johnson. Touchdown Steelers. Deontay Johnson, his second touchdown of the afternoon, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. The PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play, and they'll accept that penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
First play of the drive. Excellent run. Just sets up wash, rinse, repeat. Another first down.
Thompson going play action here. And he's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. That one goes for 30 yards.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit, and that might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
One quarter remains for the right to survive round one here in the AFC. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. First down, Thompson. He'll get it once more into the hands of Hill. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. So a decent gain there, but not their fourth consecutive first down like they had on the first three plays.
You sound almost disappointed there. You want to fire the offensive coordinator on that one or what?
They'd gotten into a rhythm. I thought they were just going to keep going.
Well, almost a win for the defense, but if that's your win, you're not doing very well right now.
That's caught. Waddle on the left side. And the Dolphins are going to have a first and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. To the air again, Thompson. And he's got his tight end, Gesicki, in the end zone. Touchdown, Dolphins. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Dolphins are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that'll make this a 19-point ball game. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they're going to get the football just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line. So a turnover there on the kickoff. And don't look now, but that just... And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a third and about 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Oh, that's just not fair, and that room to run. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Well, that'll help the old passing stats. Remember, it was a pop pass, so it's not a wide receiver run there, Charles.
Well, I like the way that you scored it, and that's exactly how it goes into the books. But remember, he's had success throwing the ball the standard way in this game. And here, this little top pass, it goes for good yardage, a little something extra in his repertoire.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Not only an explosive play, but an explosive run. I mean, broken tackles along the way to pick up that yardage.
The way things kept churning for him, feet were moving, the legs were driving. Looks like someone who spent his offseason working on hill work, running through sand, all the things that you want to build up those leg muscles.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the fourth quarter.
Well, it certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
They have still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. It's the ex-Dolphin Minkah Fitzpatrick, and the Steelers are going to take possession of the football. Well, just another reason to celebrate there on the defensive side with the interception, and this is a game that they clearly have firmly in their grasp.
Yeah, a lot of handshakes, a lot of hugs, a lot of smiles. It's been their day.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down, second and right at a yard. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to take it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Again, it's Harris on second down. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That second down play nets a -4. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. And the Steelers on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 4. They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. 76 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times. They'll try the right side with Harris. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 11 now. Pickett, and he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
When you see those RPOs run, you need the first man to attack and be a disruptor. And on that play, he closed down fast and helped knock it away.
Boswell's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. They're ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they'll pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Hunt will try going up the middle, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Off play action, Thompson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lost one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Here's Thompson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Now a give, running left is Harris. 81 yards rushing for him now as he has been a central figure in trying to get his guys to the 2nd round. Good gain there on 1st down and keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking. Nice hole for him. Ends up picking up nice yardage. Stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not an inning rush offensively. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
The Steelers going to survive.